back to this old thing. All right. Boy, it sure feels good to get them moving again. We're rotating out into the next field now. You can see I just have probably a half-acre paddock for them, and we'll feed hay here for probably about a week or so. But everyone's looking forward to moving, I can tell. This guy is probably my most unfriendly animal. He just likes his distance, and he's kind of crowding up on me saying, let's go, drop the fence. So we're gonna drop the fence and let him in. Go on, sheep. Look, there they go. They'll start following now. Put some hay down. We'll put some hay down, and then they'll really be at home. All right, hang on a second. Yeah, boy, they're just, I think everyone's just happy to be moving. Except for Buster. He didn't come off of a rotational farm. So, Buster, my dude, you got to come with. All right, let's throw some hay for him. So this is about, I think 8 or 9 days of feeding hay and disturbance. You know, part of the reason I went to all this trouble of feeding where I did on the opposite side of the farm and battling snow drifts and negative 30 temps and blah, 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 instead of feeding up by the house is this right here. Look at this absolute carbon feast for the soil. I'm doing this. I can't wait to come back in like June, our spring flush, and say, wow, look at this is where all that hay kick-started everything. So all I have left to do is move the dog feeder in, take down this fence, get my post back, and Bob's your uncle. It's gonna be good. They're all feeding, and so anyway, I'll have to include the photo that George sent me for his feeder. But he said basically if they figure out they can get their nose under there, they can lift it up and slither underneath. And I checked the feeder. She must have got a nibble of what was on. See, she was in here for at least two dumps there. But I mean, she didn't really eat anything. But it also stops the dogs from getting in to eat too. So I don't know how hungry they are. So George said extend this out a ways and then put a board there because they won't step over the board and then underneath. So big thanks to Mr. Heller up there north to help me out with that. Just kind of took my phone call and we had a nice talk. But the dogs got a new area to patrol. The sheep got a bunch of hay on some fresh ground. I did feel like I was pushing my luck, by the way, how long I was leaving them here, because I don't want them to really lay on their muck too long. So this next paddock is probably 50% bigger. It goes down the hill. And so we can feed those 2 full bales and that partial bale for the next week or so. And we'll just kind of march down the hill. But I want them to have this is one of the drier fields, especially as we get into mud season with these hills. So my goal is to kind of, when we really get into mud season, we're gonna make our way down this way, up there, come back, and I want them to, as we start hitting spring rains, have high ground to get up on. And then you know, the grass will usually take off in that field behind the trees first, because that's the best ground we have. And so that'll be the first place we start easing them onto grass from hay. But oh, I know there was a couple of questions about why am I watering if Greg Judy says they're you know, the sheep can get by with snow. He actually wrote an article in the February Stockman Grass Farmer about sheep, and one of the things he said they don't need water if they're on stockpile. If you have to feed them hay, they need water. So that kind of explains why my observations, you know, didn't line up with the idea of no water for sheep. You know, we have, even where they're standing right now, this is 2 foot of snow. So like there's no way to get to stockpile. And so that explains why they do need water. I had to go back and look for it. So hopefully that helps the folks wondering about that. Up here up north, I mean, we got absolutely demolished by snow this year. And there's just no real good way for the animals to get at the stockpile that remained. And so, I mean, that's really where we are. So I'm gonna just pick up some loose hay and keep pitching it in so they're full and satisfied. The dogs are over there playing, having fun. Life is good. No, keep going. There we go, down the hill. Don't hit a fence. Well, sort of worked. Good morning, everyone. Animals are getting food, water, mineral today. I gotta go finish unrolling that. I was really hoping you'd have enough momentum. That's my dream, is to put all my winter bales on a hill and just cut the wrap and give it a little nudge. How does that sound? That's not hard work, is it? Sounds pretty good. And Bob just peed on the bale. Good job, Bob. This is a crazy hill, because this hill right here, that's just a big drift. That's one where I had to dig down, and I was up to my hips in snow. And luckily it's been mild enough that we're starting to get some melt. But what do you think, guys? I'm gonna bring your new dog feeder up. So anyway, just you gotta get your fun where you can, including rolling. Actually, I saw that and I was like, oh no, that's gonna run right over my step-in post. But luckily it slowed down. But we'll go unroll that the rest of the way, and these animals have a little feast today. Bob, you good boy? Anyhow, guess what it's gonna do this week for a change? Yeah, it's gonna snow some more, because, you know, why don't we just have winter all the way to next winter, and then we can never stop being in winter? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Well, I'm in the middle of disassembling this old dog feeder. There's a couple things that I did on the first one that I don't like. One is it's not sheep proof. I had a good long conversation with George Heller up north about why mine didn't work right with this opening. And essentially you need a board right here so a sheep won't go up and then under, but a dog can. And the second thing is I put the supports, and you can see it's all jacked up here. And I just screwed it in, which is just a terrible move from a strength and stability standpoint. So on this new one, I'll show you, I put the boards up higher, so also it doesn't grind on the ground as much or pull as much snow, and it runs a little more easily as I pull it around my farm. So, and then lastly, I put a bigger feeder in. These dogs are getting big. They need a door that's a little wider and can swing in further to get their big fat heads in there. So yeah, I'm just in the middle of taking this apart. I'm going to reuse the cattle panels because I think that's fine. And I just need better underlying structure and a bigger feeder. So here we are. We're assembled now. Dogs can get in and out. I showed them how to do it. They just got to kind of work through the new system. There goes Come on, Shep, you can do it. You can't do it? I just watched you do it. Show off. But I'm hoping this will be a little more sheep-proof than the last iteration. So big thanks to George Heller for giving me some pictures to work off of, and on with the day, I guess. Come on, pup, you can do it. I might have to raise the height on that just a smidge. Yeah, I think I will. Okay.